Hello, this is Walt Smith on BlueMoonRisingTV, back for another week of Walter's Glass Half Full, Spanish edition. So, without further ado, hey, let's have a look at some of those comments. One of my favourite posters, he posted about the Sunderland game. Macaroni, Sterling was terrific. No arguing there. Now, for obvious reasons, I didn't actually get to the game, but I did the next best thing, which is what? Watching it in a sunny Spanish bar. Blues, the Pep revolution has actually started, and it started with a win. 3 points, straight in the bag. The first 20 minutes, well, I haven't actually seen that much one-way traffic since I watched the F1 earlier this year. The deluded co-commentator, he was actually trying to tell people that it wasn't even a penalty. Nailed on, sunshine, nailed on. Sterling, well, he actually looked back to his best. Hashtag the Pep effect. Aguero, well, he started off with a goal. Hashtag, well, standard. People, well, they could talk all they want about strikers in the Premier League, but I wouldn't swap our boy Aguero, no way, for any of them. Looking at the lineup and the formation, it was mental. It's what I like to call now the Pep Matrix. Kolarov, well, he's playing centre-back, and Clichy and Sanya had some kind of warped full-back kind of midfield position. Fair play to Sunderland, they actually fought hard and got back into the game. Defoe, he's what I'd like to call a sniper of a finisher, just deadly, and well, in my opinion, he should have been taken to the Euros. But with all these tactical changes, I get the feeling that some of our players, well, they're actually playing but they're thinking at the same time, and as you ladies know, us men can't multitask, but we still got off to a winning start. Thanks, mainly, to Paddy McNair's face. Blues, I'd like to just take this 1 second to consider we've got Gundogan, Company, Sane, all to come into this team as well. Great time to be alive, and a great time to be a Blue. This is a hot potato, this topic. Jack Underwood. Looking at the goalkeeping stats last season, he was one of the best keepers in England. Joe Hart in. Now, let me get this straight off the bat. I have nothing but love for Joe Hart. I mean, the guy's won more Golden Gloves than any other English goalkeeper, and is the best English goalkeeper of his generation. Joe, well, he's actually saved our City skin more times than I'd like to even think about. As a fan, it's my job to get emotionally attached to these players, and Pep, well, he doesn't have that. Joe, well, he's the greatest English goalkeeper of his generation, as I said before, and therein could lie the problem. English goalkeepers are taught, well, they're taught to be goalkeepers, and that's their position with 10 outfield players. That's the English way. Pep, well, he wants to take us to the very, very top, and goalkeepers often in his eyes have to play in 2 positions. It's often said that Manuel Neuer, he could play as a midfielder just on his own. He's that good with his feet. We've just gone out and acquired the best coach in the world, and as heartbreaking, pardon the pun, as it appears, he simply doesn't seem to rate Joe as highly as us City fans. Looking at Pep's record, well, the guy's no mug. He often gets the decisions right, hardly ever wrong. I'm waiting for the first journalists to actually slate Pep for dropping England's number 1. And what were they doing all during the Euros? Absolutely slating Joe. They're hypocrites. In my ideal world, well, Joe will stay for the next 10 years and be a goalkeeper at City for 20 years. But will that happen? I'm not so sure. But to be honest, I actually want, like you guys, what's best for City, not what's actually best for Joe Hart. So if Pep actually believes he's got to go, I'm going to have to support Pep on this one. Whatever the outcome of Joe Hart, I'd like just to go on record as saying he's been an absolute legend at our club and he's played a huge part in us actually winning a ton of silverware. But if I look at Joe Hart's trophy troll over the last few years, it's nowhere near the size of Pep's. So on this one, as I said, heavy-hearted, I've got to back Pep. This comment, well, it cheered me right up. Faze Payne, I would like to see Man City join us, Manchester United, in the Europa League, but the difference is you will get knocked out in the group stage. We've qualified the last few years, pal. I know that much for sure. Well, I'm going on record now saying we've quite actually made the group stages so far. You can say that for certain. Quite literally, the score, well, it could have been 10. It's like Pep almost brought a tank to a knife fight. Like most City fans, when Aguero actually missed that penalty, I looked to the skies and I thought to myself, I hope it's not going to be one of those nights. It was like the ghost of City past actually coming along to put a spanner in the works. What gets me most giddy is the players seem to be buying into this Pep system and seem to be getting better and better at it as each game goes by. I felt the movement of the forward line and the actual looking for spaces was certainly a step up than when we played Sunderland. City players were actually chasing down the opposition in the 90th minute. We didn't see that last year, and this was, well, we were 5-0 up. My man of the match, well, it had to go to Aguero, despite missing 2 penalties. What crazy times we live in. Stones, he looked absolutely dominant, and Kevin De Bruyne, well, he looked like a Ginger Ninja. Sterling, well, he always looked like the player that we'd actually thought we'd bought from Liverpool. And Fernandinho, well, he was like the puppet master, pulling all those strings. Nolito, well, he looks an absolute steal. I don't know, who's your man of the match? Get tapping below. To sum up the crazy times we live in, well, BT Sports, they had three City pundits. They must have listened. So that about sums up another week of Walter's Glass Half Full. So if you need any positivity injected into your blue world, what are you waiting for? Get tapping below. Oh, gonna go to the pool.